This truly is a dumpster fire. Find out what's going on as I hereby invite everyone to join me on my adventures through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So, we're talking about Deadpool's diner, or what it should be called Deadpool's dumpster for all intents and purposes. And I'm going to try as hard as possible, A, not to swear during this, and B, to do this in a way that actually makes sense and doesn't just sound like I'm being pissy. So, this is possibly the worst thing that Marvel Snap could have done to show you what they truly feel about their player base. I understand exactly why they didn't want to reveal any of this before this came out, because so many people would have been up in arms about this. First of all, let's talk about the very beginning of this. The cereal. If you walked into this game and first time it showed up, you went all in and you lost, you were out of the game, and you were out of the game until you refresh. And you're sitting there going, okay, this has got about an hour to refresh. So in about an hour, I'll be able to get back and play the game. Here's the thing that you don't realize. You see this bar up at the top? That last number? You don't get that every hour. You get that every 8 hours. So if you lost that first game, you were out. This used to be 80 bucks, like now it's been down to 8. So if you lost that first game, you were out, and you were out because you were getting about 30 bubs at that point. You were out for roughly 3 hours if you got unlucky. That is ridiculous. They had to change it. The fact that they couldn't test it, the fact that they didn't realize that they needed at least one situation here that would have been a 0 bub meal. If they would have had one more meal that would have been 0 bubs, people would have been like, okay, let's go for it. Second thing is once you lose, the first thing that pops up is, hey, do you want to spend gold on it? Secondly, once you get up and going, once you start rocking and rolling, everything I would say, steak isn't even worth your time. I might even go all the way to kebabs. Because you've got to get 15 million rewards. And that's the thing. When I looked at the reward track, and originally it was told that the Cassandra Nova would be the top card in there. And I was like, oh man, it's going to be so hard to get Cassandra Nova. And then later down the road, they said, oh, we're going to put 2 Cassandras in the game. We're going to put their regular Cassandra, and we're going to put her alt art as the ultimate friend. And also they're going, awesome. They're going to put Cassandra somewhere near the bottom so that everybody has a chance to get it. Nope, they put her all the way up at 15 million. Where I am right now, on day 3, I am barely on track to maybe get Cassandra Nova before this is all over. And that's with me truly putting forth effort, truly putting forth the grind. And I'm facing against decks that I really don't want to face against. These are not fun decks to play against. I'm seeing the Aeroshums, I'm seeing the Destroys, I'm seeing the Toxic decks. Nobody's playing a fun deck because everybody wants to win the card. There's no fun decks, there's no silly decks, there's no interesting decks. It's Aeroshum, destroy, Aeroshum, destroy, Toxic, destroy, Aeroshum. And that is such a bad thing to do. You could have had the opportunity for fun decks to exist in here. But imagine if, when you started this up, everybody had one deck to choose from, and there was, say, 5 decks that everybody could pick from. And at any point, you could just switch out the decks. But that was the deck you had to play for this, and they were all crafted to be more fun, more interesting, kind of a rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock kind of thing. Imagine how much fun and interesting thing that would be. The fact that you're just facing the same thing that you're facing on ladder. This is basically ladder condensed down to a 2-week experience. Trying to get the entire Infinite run done in 2 weeks. And what makes it worse is when you're playing the game just looks like it's ladder. The board looks the same. They didn't even try to put a different board in it. The voice lines are still the same. It's still Snap. You didn't even bother to get somebody to do a different voice line. I mean, imagine getting even a bad actor to be Deadpool or to be Wolverine, and sit there and go, hey, I got you, or something like that, or let's do this. That could have been what it was instead of snaps. Then you could have already had the snaps be the snaps. It's so bad, because you want to know the worst part about this? The truly worst part about this is right here. If you get past Cassandra Nova, if you get right up here, this 30 million mark, this 30 million mark right here, once you do that, you open up the final mark for you. Once you open up the final mark for you, first of all, your refreshes are 30 million at that point. Second of all, at that point, if you want to buy 15 million bubs, you only have to pay 100 gold. And yes, these buying of these bubs do count towards your ladder experience. But the passive ones that you get from just being around don't. So that's what they truly think of you. They really think that it's only worth 100 gold for you to have Cassandra Nova. And when did they give this to you? Once it no longer matters. Hey, it no longer matters. Let's give you the ability to get it for 100 gold. But we could have made this cheaper, but we're not going to because we didn't have to. Because right now, to get to that same 15 million, if I wanted to buy to get to that same 15 million, I'd have to spend about 3,000 tokens, and that would only get me to 12 million. So either spend 4,000 gold and have a chance to get it right off the bat, but then once you actually do have it, oh, here, you can just have it for 100 gold. What is wrong? I mean, if you're trying to promote this being a show of how good you were in the game, there should have never been a cash component to this at all. Because right now, if I wanted to, I could easily buy, just with being on day 3, buy the rest of my bubble. I have enough gold. I have saved up enough gold. And then once I actually get those bubs, all I would have to do is play a little bit more to get up to 30, and then spend another 4,000 gold, and I would get the final card. I'd have the Cassandra Nova, and I had the variant, and it would only have cost me roughly about 8,000 gold. And that's the worst part. If you would have told me this would have been an 8,000 gold bundle, for an 8,000 gold bundle, this is a ridiculously beautiful 8,000 gold bundle. You are talking, 3, 6, let's say, 15-ish different border. You're talking a brand new card. You're talking 2 avatars. You're talking a premium mystery variant, an epic variant. I mean, that is something, another epic variant. That is so much to do for $100. Here's the thing. If you in the future want to sell, and if this is all about making cash, let me tell you this right now, second dinner. I know a ton of people who would gladly pay the $3,850 each and every single week to get the new card. Which is basically what it would cost for me right now to get the new card. I know a ton of people who'd gladly pay that $50. I know people who put more than $50 in this every single week. It just shows you that you don't care, because you're basically saying, hey, you finally got the card, now here's 15 million bulbs that you can get for $100 gold. So, we could have given this to you earlier. We could have helped you out. But we're not going to, because you don't need it anymore, and now we're going to. All you had to do to make people happy with this is take the Nova, take the Cassandra Nova, and make her $1 million. Switch these two around. Switch this golden premium variant, whatever you call it, with the Cassandra Nova. Put her down here. Put the premium variant up here, and you would have been done. Most people would have gotten in about 3 days. Some people would have gotten on day 1, and that's fine. Because here's the funny part: there are people who are now even above this. There's a bub leaderboard. Okay? And right now, on the bub leaderboard, there's somebody with 26.7 billion bubs. That person is either super good at the game, or just really opened their wallet and bought it. And there's a problem when the greatest card in the game is the credit card. I understand you wanted to make gold off of this, and you're going to bring this back, because guess what? This made you gold. This made you a lot of gold. But what's going to happen next time is people are going to understand how it's going to happen, and people are going to have that they're going, okay, I know this is coming up. Let me have about 8,000 gold, and as soon as it shows up, I'm just going to buy the card, and then I'll go get the other half of the card, and then buy the other half of the card. So, really, when you see this card played against you, you now have to think, is this a good player, or did they just spend money? There's so many ways you could have fixed this. Letting there be a way to buy the bubs, or get the bubs, down at 0. Having a 0 starting point. And here's the thing, once you get higher, everything pretty much before the last 5, I'll say the last 5, so where's the last 5? Hang on. Let's call it, this is the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty much everything before kebabs doesn't matter after the 3rd day. So all those 10 other levels meant nothing. It just seems like you promoted this. You tried to make this into a big thing. And in the end, it just turned everybody's sour against what you did for this and what you possibly can do in the future. I have no faith that you're going to do well when it comes time to plans. I have no faith that you're going to do well when it comes time to refresh the new player experience. I have no faith that when you go and you try to do draft mode, it's not going to be a gold sync again. You've proven time and time again that you don't care about what the players are doing. You care about the gold. You care about the cash. And I understand you're a business. But what shows this more than anything else, again, is this picture right here. 15 million bobs, 100 gold. When you get this, once it no longer matters. So, they don't care. They just want your cash, because if they cared, they would have offered this earlier. Imagine if this has been when you really started with this. This would have been the first mark that you got. Oh, you just want to be done with it? Spend 100 gold and be done with it. A lot of people would have spent 100 gold, but like, yeah, that was a little bit of gold out of my pocket, but I got the card and we're done. Anyways, I don't want to harp about this forever. My rant is over. I want to thank you all so much for watching. And as always, remember, play for fun.